Welcome to the topic Strategic Management. Here in chapter 5, we're going to discuss about global cost management and cost structuring. Entering foreign markets, exporting, licensing, joint venture, direct investment. Exports. Exporting is a traditional and well-established method of reaching foreign markets. Since exporting does not require that the goods be produced in the target country, no investment in foreign production facility is required. Most of the costs associated with exporting take the form of marketing expenses. Exporting is the marketing and direct sale of domestically produced goods in another country. Exporting commonly requires coordination. Exporter, importer, transport provider, government. Licensing. Since little investment on the part of the licensor is required, licensing has the potential to provide a very large ROI, return on investment. However, because the license produces the markets the product, potential returns from manufacturing and marketing activities may be lost. Licensing permits a company in the target country to use the property of the licensor. Such property usually is intangible, such as trademarks, patents, and production techniques. The license pays a fee in exchange for the rights to use the intangible property and possible for technical assistance. Joint venturing. 5 common objectives in a joint venture market entry are there: risk or reward sharing, technology sharing, joint product development, conforming to government regulations. Other benefits include political connections and distribution channels access that may depend on relationships. Such alliances often are favorable when the partner's strategic goals converge while their competitive goals diverge. The partner's size, market power, and resources are small compared to the industry leader, and partners are able to learn from one another while limiting access to their own proprietary skills. The key issues to consider in a joint venture are ownership, control, length of agreement, pricing, technology transfer, local firm capabilities and resources, and government intentions. Problems include conflict over symmetric new investment, mistrust over proprietary knowledge, performance ambiguity, how to split the pie, lack of parent firm support, cultural clashes if how and when to terminate the relationship. Joint ventures have conflicting pressure to cooperate and compete. The joint venture attempts to develop shared resources, but each firm wants to develop and protect its own proprietary resources. Foreign direct investment (FDI). Direct ownership provides a high degree of control in the operations and the ability to better know the consumer and competitive environment. However, it requires a high level of resources and a high degree of commitment. Foreign direct investment (FDI) is the direct ownership of facilities in the target country. It involves the transfer of resources including capital, technology, and personnel. Direct foreign investment may be made through the acquisition of an existing entity or the establishment of new enterprise. Understanding integration strategies, raw materials, components, assembly, end product, consumer. Integration. If the firm starts doing components itself and add to assemble, then it is an example of backward integration strategies. No integration. If the firm has not been doing components itself and only assembly type, then it is said to be having non-integration strategies, no competitive advantage. This firm can take up backward integration or forward or total integrations for gaining competitive advantages. Forward integration. If the firm starts making end products itself and add to assembly, then it is an example of forwarding integration strategies. Total integration. If the firm starts moving everything from the beginning to end products itself and add to assembly, then it is an example of total integration strategies. Vertically integrations. The concept of vertical integration can be visualized using the value chain. Consider a firm whose products are made via an assembly process. Such a firm may consider backward integrating into intermediate manufacturing or forward integrating into distribution. Two issues that should be considered when deciding whether to vertically integrate are cost and control. The cost aspect depends on the cost of market transaction between firm versus the cost of administering the same activities internally within a single firm. The second issue is the impact of asset control, which can impact barrier to entry and which can assure cooperation of key value adding players. Advantages might improve supply chain coordination, might provide more opportunities to differentiate by means of increased control over inputs, increase entire barrier to potential competitors. Disadvantages decreased ability to increase product variety if significant in-house development is required. Developing new core competency may compromise existing competencies. Hidden increase bureaucratic cost. Horizontal integration. Horizontal growth can be achieved by internal expansion or by external expansion through mergers and acquisition of firms offering similar products and services. A firm may diversify by growing horizontal into unrelated business. Some examples of horizontal integration are the Standard Oil Company acquisition of 40 refiners, an automobile manufacturer acquisition of a sport utility vehicle manufacturer, a media company's ownership of radio, television, newspaper, books and magazines. Advantages achieved by selling more of the same product, achieved by sharing resource common to different products, increased market power over supplier and downstream channel members. Disadvantages before expanding the scope of the firm through horizontal integration, management should be sure that the imagined benefits are real. More difference in comparing profit. Here we're gonna complete our chapter 5. Thank you.